Aubrey, I'm excited to be here. How are you?
I am great. I just did this Peloton ride in Taiwan, which made me think of you. And then I was Googling to try and find out where it was because it was gorgeous.
Yeah?
There were like these mountain cliffs on either side of you. So you're kind of going through a canyon and there was a river down below. And it was like the most breathtakingly beautiful place I've ever been.
Taiwan
But
is gorgeous.
Google wasn't helping me. I was like, I want to go there. How do I find out? How do I get there?
Yeah, you guys might not know this, but I lived in Taiwan for 7 years. That's actually where I became an examiner. And yeah, Taiwan is a beautiful, beautiful place that will live in my heart forever. It is gorgeous. And in the south of Taiwan, there's like a moonscape area, and it's like I don't even know the terms for this landscape, these landscape objects, but it does look like you are on the moon, and there are like moon rock craters and stuff around you, like, and it's a small country. Obviously, it's a small island, but the variety of landscapes just breathtaking. Okay. We're not talking about travel and landscapes today, guys, but we are talking about motivation. Aubrey, I would imagine that being surrounded by that beauty would help motivate you to do that Peloton ride.
Yeah, it really does. I love these scenic views where you feel like you're riding in this beautiful place. I love that. But honestly, the most motivating classes are like the instructors because they're like bossing you around, telling you what to do. It's super motivating. I need someone telling me to keep up, or I'm like, nah, I'm done.
For sure. Yeah, I know a lot of people that it definitely helps you exercise more if somebody's like, come on, right? And it's same with IELTS studying. That's why you guys are listening to us, so we can help motivate you to study more and to study better. By studying better, I mean not wasting your time doing the wrong things, because we know you are busy adults, right? And you have a limited amount of time. So if you just have an hour a day to study IELTS, you need to make sure that you are increasing your score in real ways with that hour, and not just like spending your time on a forum or studying strategies that don't work, right? You need to make sure that you're using that time well. I know both Aubrey and I, like, we really don't like wasting time. Like, inefficiency really bothers us.
Well, and it is very demotivating. Can you imagine spending all this time studying for IELTS and feeling ready and then getting really low scores because you didn't realize you're actually wasting all this time studying the wrong thing, maybe the wrong level of resources.
Totally.
And then you lose motivation. It would be hard to keep up at it, especially if you're not even sure what you did wrong.
So today, guys, we're going to talk about the activity of mimicking, and we're going to tell you 3 specific ways this activity can help your speaking score. And we're going to give you 2 little stories from real students who have used this technique. So, Aubrey, what is mimicking?
Yes, you may have heard this called shadowing as well, where you mimic how you hear someone else speak. So often we'll recommend to just listen to 10 seconds at a time of a native speaker who speaks well, who has interesting intonation, because you guys out there have heard some TED Talks with some boring speakers who don't have a lot of intonation. That's not what we're talking about. You don't want to be mimicking them. You want to be really thoughtful about who you're mimicking. Do they have interesting intonation? Can you hear the emotion? Is it engaging to listen to them? That is who you want to mimic.
Exactly. So this is the first and primary way that this activity helps your score. So when you mimic, that just means copy exactly, right? So when you mimic a native speaker, you're learning the natural intonation and stress, the rhythm of English. So often we get students who are hovering between a 6 and 7, and pronunciation is the key to increasing that score immediately. If you are flat, you get a 6, even if I can understand everything you say. Because if you do not show me any pronunciation features, like intonation and stress, you cannot get above a 6 for pronunciation. So that's the first way it helps your score. And I want to tell you guys a little story because this just happened yesterday in a personal coach class. So in this was my first session with this student, and I always spend the first bit, as like a needs assessment, so I can tailor my advice to this student, right? Just personalize it as much as possible. Excuse me. And I found out that he loves Modern Family. So after we did the mock speaking test, and the thing is, like, his vocab is amazing. His grammar is almost an 8. Like, his English is so incredible, but the pronunciation was still a 6, precisely because of intonation. So I told him, you're already watching Modern Family, right? Okay, Phil is the dad, the main dad in Modern Family, and he speaks more slowly. He doesn't speak fast, but he's very expressive when he talks. He's very funny. So I was like, I want you to specifically mimic Phil. Be Phil. Because that's accessible. He's already doing it, right? And that's the best way to change what you're doing, is to really tune in, listen, and try to copy that exactly.
Yes, exactly. Oh, that's such great advice, because it's already something he enjoys, already finds it engaging. So just take that little extra step to mimic, right? To pause it, repeat back exactly how Phil says something, and he'll start feeling, oh, this is very different than the monotone that I'm using.
Totally.
I can feel myself speaking so differently, and it's going to start coming more naturally.
Totally. So guys, if you're looking for other things to mimic, any sitcoms, honestly, because they're always going to be more expressive on sitcoms, and you'll probably find characters that do speak a little more slowly. Don't try and mimic one of the native speakers that speak super fast, right? Be realistic in who you choose. Be like, can I sound like this person? Is this achievable? Yes, let's do it. All right. So what is the second way that the mimicking activity will help students' scores?
Well, you're practicing fluency.
Yep.
You also have to think about your fluency and coherence score, which, are you pausing? Are you hesitating? Do you have plenty to say on every topic? And every time you mimic someone, you're learning how to talk about a different topic. Whatever Phil Dunphy's talking about, it's a different random topic that you will now have something to say about. So it's also improving your fluency.
As a teacher, as someone who designs courses and writes textbooks, I've always had this central core belief that you really have to isolate every single skill to improve as a whole, right? You can't just say, I'm going to be better at speaking English. Let's speak. Like, there are so many little things that go into this. It's the same with your IELTS speaking score, right? So if we want to practice simply speaking without pausing, like Aubrey said, simply speaking without hesitating, then don't try and just do that on your own while you're thinking, while you're worried about grammar, while you're worried about vocabulary. With mimicking, you're not worried about grammar. You're not worried about vocab. It's done for you. This is the best example of isolating this fluency skill, right? So mimicking something that's already given to you, that is the best way to increase that fluency. You are literally being fluent, right? So you're like, it's great. You're experiencing that.
Yes, exactly. And in a very fun way.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's the thing. Like, there are lots of ways to practice trying to speak more fluently. So why not do it in a way that you already find engaging and fun?
Totally. Exactly. I hope you guys are watching sitcoms. I hope you guys are learning English through funny shows. So if you're already doing it, like, just pause and copy one of the actors.
I got to recommend really quick Happy Endings on Netflix. Have you ever seen that,
Oh my gosh,
Jessica?
that show is great. It's so fun.
It's so funny, and it's a little older. It's a few years old, maybe 2013, but they just released it on Netflix,
fun.
and I started watching again. I was like, oh, this holds up. This is still very funny, and I feel like a few of the actors speak slowly and with great intonation, so that might be a good one to check out for some mimicking.
I started watching Last Man on Earth with Will Forte and Kristen Schaal. That is also very funny. It's not a family show, but it's also not, like R-rated or anything, but it's
somewhere in between.
So funny. It's like, let's say PG-13.
I love Will Forte.
I
so I'm probably gonna
know.
love it.
Anyway, all right. So the third way that mimicking increases your score. So remember, guys, so far we've talked about it helping your intonation, right? Your pronunciation. It also helps your fluency, right? What is the third way that it helps, Aubrey?
It can build your confidence. We actually had a student write into us. I loved this so much. They told us that when they went into their speaking exam, they said, I am Jessica Beck. They channeled Jessica with her confidence and outgoing and intonation, and they scored an 8.5. His name was Jeffrey. Amazing. Woo-hoo. But also, I'm not surprised. If you're able to channel Jessica, of course you're going to get an amazing score. And that would really build confidence.
Awesome. Yes. Oh my gosh. I love it so much. So it's the same idea of isolating the skills, right? Like if you want to feel more confident, practice feeling confident. You know what I mean? Just feel it, right? Copy someone who motivates you. Mimic someone who you want to channel, who you want to be like. And then you can, the more you do that, right? The more you feel that, there's muscle memory happening. Like if you practice it, it'll come out on test day. So I love today's episode. I love doing these very motivational episodes. And we did mention earlier, guys, how using your time well is very important for you as a busy adult. So if you want to find out what IELTS score you would get right now for free, you could spend 5 minutes and get your estimated IELTS band score, guys. Go to allearsenglish.com/myscore. I made this IELTS quiz for you. Get your estimated IELTS band score. Oh, we also had another YouTube comment about the test, about that quiz, actually.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Jahongir said, I must say that your quiz is authentic because when I took it, it said that my score is more than 7, very close to 8, and I got a 7.5 on IELTS. So our quiz is accurate, guys. So go to allearsenglish.com/myscore. Take that quiz, get some free resources we made for you, and at least you know it's a good starting point. It's a way to not waste time from the beginning. And if you are ready to get into our online course, guys, available now wherever you are in the world, go to allearsenglish.com/KEYS.
It's such a great way to build confidence, too, because if you go in on test day having no idea what you might score, I could see that it'd be hard to go into the speaking exam confident, able to have great native intonation if you're worried. Like, am I ready? Am I where I need to be? So take that, get your estimated band score so you can go in confident, knowing that you're ready on test day.
Yep. Awesome. Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us today. Remember, we are just doing 2 episodes a week now. I hope you listened to Aria's episode yesterday. If not, go back and listen to that. This is such a motivating week, guys. I love being here with you, Aubrey, and with all of you students. So that's it for today, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.